In this video, I'm going to show you how you can quickly pull the last value in a range of cells. And for stocks, how to use that then to quickly calculate returns based on the number of days you're looking back. So for starters, I'm going to use the stock history function in Excel to pull in Microsoft's stock price going back a year. So I'm going to enter Microsoft as the stock ticker. The start date is today minus 365 days, the end date being today. So use the today function, so it'll automatically update based on the today's date. So it's always going back a year in this case. So when I hit enter, it populates those values. The oldest dates are at the top. The newest ones are at the bottom. So if I want to grab that value at the very bottom, rather than going through and looking up dates and determining how far down it goes, I'm going to use a really simple function, and that is the lookup function in Excel. Not the XLOOKUP, not the VLOOKUP, just the lookup function. And for the lookup value, I'm going to enter a value of 2 just because this value isn't going to be found. So it's automatically going to get the last value. So for the lookup vector, I'm going to look at a range of B2 to B, let's say 10,000. Just to make it sufficiently large that it's not going to cause, I'm not going to run out of space. I don't want to select the entire column, because what I'm doing is evaluating this to say, okay, if B2 to B10,000 is not equal to, as long as it's not blank, then I want to return that. And I also want to take 1 and divide it by that. So what this is going to do is return a series of true false values, and then 1 divided by that is going to determine which one of them are actually numbers and which ones are not, are going to result in errors. And then for my results vector, I'm going to specify the exact same range, B2 to B10,000. So by doing this, it's looking at that range, looking at which cells contain values and are numbers. And then by doing a lookup of 2, since this is only ever going to result in a value of 1 or 0 if it's found, if I do a lookup value of 2, then it's always going to pull that last value that was actually a number. So if I hit enter, it pulls in 450.18. If I go to the very bottom of this range, that is indeed the bottom of that. So I don't have to do a lookup, I don't have to do a VLOOKUP, I don't have to worry about what date to look for. It's automatically just going to pull that last value. So you can use this for any purpose really where you've got a large range and you don't necessarily want to do a complicated lookup formula for. This will automatically just go and grab that last value. Now for stocks, this can be useful if you want to calculate your returns over a certain period. So in this case, we can take today's value, divide it by my starting value, which is right here. Subtract 1, and now we've got our percent change. Convert that, we can see 4.62% for this period. Let's make it a bit more dynamic though, and add a field for the days. So right now we're going back 365 days, but let's say I want to go back 30 days. So what I can do here is change this. So instead of minus 365, it's minusing whatever this value is. Ideally, we want to work with variables, not hard-coded numbers, just so that makes our formulas a bit more dynamic and easy to update. So now we can say over the past 30 days, the stock's gone up 15%. If it's say 60 days, 18.8%, 90 days, 120, and so on and so forth. 365 times 2, want to go back 2 years potentially, we can do that. So a lot of different ways that we can use this and incorporate this with calculating stocks and returns. If you just don't want to worry about doing a lookup based on date, you can just quickly pull in the last value. And the key thing is setting that lookup value. So you're setting the range to check if it's a non-blank number, and then determining if it is a number. And then that lookup, as long as it's more than 1, it should be fine. If I change this to 5, it really doesn't matter. If I change it to 500, it doesn't matter. The point is it's going to grab the largest number. So as long as it's more than 1, and that's why 2 is an easy one to use for this purpose, but it really doesn't matter. As long as it's not 1, then it's going to grab that largest value and then make it easy to then pull that in and do any calculations, whether it's a stock return or anything else. That's the easiest way to grab the bottom number or bottom value of your range.